Welcome back to the Pack Chat, our student voice opinion segment. I'm joined today by my co-host, Victor Martinez, as well as our guest co-hosts, Ileana Tangarova and John Pei, as we discuss this week's most trending topics. With that being said, let's get started. First, Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett was confirmed to the Supreme Court on Monday. With just 7 days until the election and over 60 million votes already, the decision was made in a 52-48 vote. We are already seeing multiple voting bills and others being passed through the court right now. What do you guys think about this decision? Do you guys think it was fair? I mean, guys, we are talking a week until the election. You're telling me they couldn't have waited? Like, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah, the Republican Party, the Republican Party in the Senate said it when, during in 2016, when they were considering replacing Scalia, and they wouldn't let the Democratic nominee for the Supreme Court pass through because they believed that it was the people's job to vote in a president that would elect someone to the Supreme Court that they believed in. They're electing the Supreme Court as well, and that's something that I definitely believe in. I think that it's the people's right to elect someone to the Supreme Court, and they are already voting, and we don't know who they're voting for at this point. But it could be for somebody else. It could be for Trump even. And I don't understand why Trump couldn't have waited. If he's so confident that he is going to win this election, then I don't understand why he couldn't have waited to elect someone to the Supreme Court after he won.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I think it's really hypocritical because in 2016, they were gonna replace Scalia, and they declined the hearing with Merrick Garland, I'm pretty sure, 293 days before the election. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's hypocritical because maybe 40 days before the election, they let Amy Coney Barrett have a hearing. It just seems a little wrong, and just her way of implementing her religion with her politics, that just doesn't sound very right to me, because there is a separation of church, and I just think it's very, very hypocritical of the Republican Party to do this to the election.
Yeah, I definitely think it is a bit unfair. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's honestly unconstitutional. I think it takes away the whole part of democracy, which is we choose, we vote. I don't think people realize how important the Supreme Court is. I don't think people realize how much power they have. They have the power to alter any law. It's ridiculous. And this is a lifelong position. This is not just someone that, is going to have a job for a couple years whenever they decide to stop. This is a lifelong position. And we just watched this happen with only 7 days until the election, when over 60 million people have already voted.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, where was the people's choice? It doesn't.
Yeah. And the vote is 6-3 now, right? So it's cumulative, and that's not fair,
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, regardless of what happened in 2016 with the Republicans, I think in 2020 with President Trump, I think he did have the constitutional right to confirm her, even if he had less than a week before the election, right? And yes, I do think that the Supreme Court should be elected by the people so that it can be less political, But
mm-hmm.
but constitutionally, he had every right to do what he did.
Yeah. No, truly, he did, but
But then also the thing is, constitutionally, if the Democratic Party did have a majority in Congress, they also have the right to pack the court in response. That's the thing. You're playing with this thing where it might be constitutionally correct, but it's not morally correct. It's not morally correct because you're imposing your party by having a majority. And you're just completely disregarding the other party's views and disregarding what the other party wants. And even though it's written in the Constitution that you're able to do that, it doesn't make it completely right. Just packing the court, and just confirming somebody 7 days or 8 days before an election.
Yeah.
The founding fathers themselves were horrified of packing the court. They didn't put any restrictions on it in the Constitution, but I'll just add that the founding fathers thought that packing the court in and of itself would basically destroy any morals of the Supreme Court.
Well, yeah, I don't think that I don't think that packing the court is ideal. I don't think that it is, but I also don't think that the founding fathers would have especially liked confirming somebody this close to an election, because I think they also would have believed that it's the people's right to choose who's going to be on the Supreme Court. So I'm saying that they're kind of equal. like they're confirming somebody right before an election because they're imposing the fact that they have a Republican majority in the Senate in order to, disregard, like, I mean, it was a 52 to 48 vote. Like, that's barely a majority. And it's just because the Republicans already have a majority in the Senate. So they're just imposing that majority in order to get, like, what they want across. And packing the court would be the same thing if Democrats did have a majority after the election.
Yeah. Next, the presidential election is next Tuesday, November 3rd. And as of right now in Texas, CBS News states Biden is leading the polls by 3 points. This could be the first time for Texas to be blue since 1976. How do you guys think we can see this turn out, especially with all of the young voting we are seeing this year? And as well as the voter turnout that we've seen in Texas. I mean, we're talking huge numbers. Do you guys think that Texas could end up being blue in this election? What do you guys think?
I think that it has a possibility. I'm not going to exactly count on it because it is like very, very, very close. So it's not exactly like a seesaw kind of win. So there is a possibility, and Texas is purple-brown right now. So maybe this election or maybe the next one. I'm not counting on it though, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's very surprising to see that Texas is leading Biden. I'm pretty iffy on the polls, especially since even in 2016, I've been iffy about the polls since. But I don't know, like it's hard to argue against the polls, right? But
Yeah.
I don't see any reason like why Texas should wants to vote for Biden, because we're so high on fracking industries, and Biden doesn't want fracking. He said that's the first thing he wants to get rid of. And
No.
Biden never said that.
I don't believe that's true. That was something that Kamala Harris did say in the primaries, is that one of the things she wanted to do was get rid of fracking. But Biden has stated that he doesn't want to get rid of fracking, especially not immediately.
Yeah.
That's in his if you look at his campaign website.
Yeah, I mean, that's like an up in the air topic. I definitely, that's a very interesting point, John.
Yeah.
I just would assume that from all the young voting that we're seeing could maybe really affect it. And big cities are really coming out and voting. So
that's the main thing. Like, John, you were saying that like you couldn't see like why people were like wanting to support Biden, but I just think like it's like what Ella said, like it's like such like a huge turnout of young people, which like are statistically just like more liberal leaning, I guess.
Yeah. And then finally, the LA Dodgers won the World Series last night, and their third baseman, Justin Turner, was pulled out in the middle of the game due to his COVID-19 test coming back positive. However, this didn't stop him from returning to the field about an hour after the game to celebrate, take pictures, and hug one of his teammates. Turner's teammate, Mookie Betts, was asked about Turner's return to the field, and he came to his defense saying, "Forget all that. He's part of the team. We're not excluding him from anything." Okay, let's unpack this. Congratulations to the Dodgers for winning. I know that is who my family was rooting for. But you find out you have COVID in the middle of the game. You leave. Why come back out and celebrate? Like, obviously it'd be sad to not celebrate that moment. Obviously I can't even imagine, the adrenaline and what they're feeling when they win the World Series, But it's like, you literally just found out you have this virus and you just ran onto a field with so many people on it.
Yeah, I think it's really wrong.
And you're taking pictures with them. This is so irresponsible.
Yeah.
So irresponsible.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I'm happy that they like immediately like took him out and replaced him from the game. Like, I'm glad that they like didn't like wait to try and like finish. Like, as soon as they found out that he tested positive, they like removed him from that environment. But then I'm just saying, like, the fact that he wasn't stopped from going onto the field, like at least keeping distance from people. If he had gone onto the field, like keeping his mask on, which he did, but like keeping his mask on, like staying distance from people and just like, celebrating, or like maybe like, I don't know, taking like a picture in which he's like a little bit like off from everybody else. Like, I don't see why that couldn't have been what happened.
And also, why was everyone so comfortable with that? If someone I know for a fact has COVID ran up to me to give me a hug, I would not welcome that hug. I would not entertain that hug. Like, what?
Yeah, no, it's really wrong. Irresponsible.
That was so bizarre. I honestly can't even believe that happened. John, do you have any input on that? Any thoughts?
It's almost like a story that's too ridiculous to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that really happen, or is that like some kind of tabloid?
No, it did. I just the article that we like sourced from that is from ESPN, where they talk about that.
Like, was he like? Did they tell him, okay, you have COVID, okay, just go and celebrate? Like,
he probably just ran out there himself. That is so ridiculous.
I don't know what rush you get from winning a game, but maybe your logic goes away when you win.
Yeah, I guess.
It'll also be interesting to see. I wonder if we're going to see some more positive tests come back after that.
For the Dodgers, yeah.
Quite a few.
And that's all you have for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. And remember, T-Wolf Pack, there's always time to chat.